This video is sponsored by Gate.io. If you set an account up using the link in the description, you'll get 25% back on all your spot and futures fees for life. Gate.io. Hello everybody, good morning. Let's get started on this then. So it's a very interesting bunch of setups at the moment across the entire market. We'll start with Euro, we'll move on to basically Bitcoin and everything else, if you've got the time and patience for that. And I do have my webcam off because yesterday's, I suppose, comment votes basically brought it down to a 50-50. Some said keep it on, some said keep it off, some said put it on and off. So I think what I'll do is I'll, depending on how I look in the mornings and how I'm feeling, I might just turn it on as a little treat. But generally, I think I might as well just take it off. We're supposed to be looking at charts, right? Not my withered face. Right. So we'll start, like I say, with Euro. So we are looking for a bounce on the Euro at this level around here. So the 105.3, 105.34 is basically the 200 exponential, which if we were to zoom right in close and just measured this move from here to here, we're only talking about another 0.5% before we actually hit that level to get a bounce. Now, if we're looking at the momentum on this, we don't really have any bullish divergence. We've got a little bit of bullish divergence only on the money flow index, which doesn't really count for a great deal. If we move it down to a 4-hourly, still the same deal over here. No real bullish divergence. Not really. However, it's more or less level. So there is a chance that we do actually find a bounce before we hit that 200 exponential. But it's very difficult to say. Like I say, another 0.5% down before I'm looking for a bounce. However, you know, we should recognize that we have bounced prior to hitting these moving averages anyway. And so the 4-hourly is technically still bearish with the death cross and continuation of that. The daily is still bullish, looking for a golden cross retest and then continuation of that. And so I would say that right now, at this very moment in time, it's kind of a 50-50 which way we go. And again, I'm bullish on the daily, provided we stay above this level. I really am. You know, we've been waiting for this until we get there and looking for what kind of reaction we have there. And that will carry forward into the rest of the markets. But we haven't got there yet, and we haven't seen the reaction there yet. So it does feel very 50-50 at the moment. And look, this has been a reasonably sharp sell-off, exactly as expected. And it's more or less hit all targets that I've had. I'm out of my shorts on this one. Just, you know, I shorted more or less the top on this one, and I got out incrementally on the way down. I'm all out of it now. And I'll get back into shorts again if we start to close below this 200 exponential, even if it's just for a move to the 200 simple. But at the moment, excuse me, if we are going to be looking for a bounce, it'll be around this area. And if we're going to have continuation on this, you know, to the upside, obviously reclaiming this 106, but more the 106.6 is where I'll be looking for continuation for the upside. And that was obviously going to be good for all markets. But at this very moment in time, it's no man's land. It's no man's land, which isn't very helpful for, well, trading anything really. Plus it's Friday, which is usually, you know, a bit of a dodgy day to try and trade, because obviously traditional markets, they normally, whatever move they do, then they usually see the inverse of that towards the end of the day. Plus you don't want to be holding loads of positions through the weekend. Now, this is a good move. This is a good move so far. So we saw a closure yesterday below this golden cross. So far, not yesterday, the day before. Yesterday we saw a nice big buyback up to the golden cross and closed above it. Again, what does this mean? 50-50, I would generally say. Yeah, hidden bullish divergence on the daily. 4-hourly, what have we got? It was hidden bullish divergence. It's more or less played out. Again, above your 200 exponential, which is all very nice and good, and would suggest that recovery period. I, again, have to stress that I'm not bearish on the S&P while above 4,000. I'm actually bullish on it. And what we could be looking at here is a classic 4-hourly golden cross retest. There's your golden cross exponentials. Move up, 50-50 symmetrical triangle, getting closer to the end of the apex, breakdown, picked back up around the 200 exponential. This is where V-shaped recoveries come from. Again, that is what this chart looks like to me. But again, we're still at the mercy of the euro, which so far is unchanged. Gold, we'll just have a quick look at gold. Again, golden cross retesting, you know, potentially coming down to 1800 flat. But are we going to get picked up on this one? We've got lots of drivers of bullish divergence on this daily as well. Same deal I think we'll be seeing on the 4-hourly. Hey. I got my 3-year-old behind me. So again, the gold wanting to find or scrape or carve out a low around these areas, but will it come down a tiny bit further beforehand? These charts all doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. Same thing can be said for our friend Bitcoin, basically. Bitcoin's doing the same thing. Here's your golden cross. Retested it beforehand. Now we're looking like we're trying to break down. I suppose when you look at the momentum on this one, turning down on the MACD as well. So again, it's not massively bearish. It's the first red histogram tick we've had all week, but it's still a red histogram. So it looks like we still want to scrape out a little lower. So maybe 23,300 will be seen. That's backed up by a Bollinger Band center as well. So it's more than just a horizontal now. It's also a Bollinger Band strategy as well. So we've got a nice support there. We've also backed up by a simple strategy like Bollinger Band. Hey. Daddy's trying to work over here, kid. So, long story short, it's probably not worthy of taking trades at this point now, because if we do decide that we're going to come down low and we break this area, we'll be coming back down to the 21,000-ish area, back into the 21,000s at least anyway. The one sort of subtle difference you might have seen yourself is that Bitcoin's coming down more than altcoins. And if we have a look at the Ethereum's chart is still actually quite good here. Golden cross, and as far as the candle body closures, for the most part, above all major moving averages. That's where we are right now. Now that's not something I would have expected. We on the live streams and things, and we're doing one again tonight. So if you want to join the Patreon, there's links in the description below for that. £7.50 a month, and blah blah blah. But what we recognize is that there was a lot of altcoins as well as Bitcoin that are all generated this trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud. Now, I mean, it's slightly contrived. It's not come out of a sideways accumulation vibe. It's come out of a pump, and so it's less of an amazing setup than normal. Normally, you want to see sideways price action, then a trend form. You don't want to see a beginning of a trend, then the trend signal form. Although we should recognize that it is a signal all the same. But yeah, I mean, as far as Ethereum's chart is concerned, it's better, and the losses have been less, and the position on the chart is better. And so if that happens to Ethereum, and it happens to other altcoins, I've got Atom up here, which is a setup that I've enjoyed ever so slightly, waiting for the same type of vibe to take place on Atom. Now, we haven't got that. But again, the same kind of vibe. Golden cross, holding up okay. We're only down 0.5% today, more or less, as Bitcoin's down 2.5%. So this does feel as though that there could be a chance of, and I'm going to say it, but don't think too much about the words, an alt season. Now look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. It's dancing around the 44% zone. So that 44% zone is an area of significance where things like decent things can happen. This is still a bullish chart, though. I have to say, it's still a bullish chart. We could bounce from this area or just slightly below. But if we don't, we might actually see a deeper retest of this area down here around 42.5. Which again, that's not much of an alt season, but it's still an alt season of sorts. And by that, I mean altcoins will gain against Bitcoin. That's all I mean. I don't mean 2021 style huge, epic, massive moves. I just mean that we might start to see continuation of what we're already seeing at the moment, given that the Ethereum's chart is actually holding up better than Bitcoin's chart, and it will allow for, and could potentially allow for, all these other setups that we've seen on all these other altcoins to complete, and then they rally while Bitcoin makes its mind up. These crazier things have happened. Trust me, crazier things have happened in this world. So, I suppose what I'm getting at here is today's traditional markets will likely tell us which direction we're going to continue in for the foreseeable future, whether it's all of next week or potentially the next few weeks. So Euro, can it hold above this area? Will it bounce around this area? What's going to go on with Euro? S&P, is it going to have a decent recovery? Is it going to go on for a V-shaped recovery? It could do. This is what these setups normally provide us. That's what we saw recently, didn't it? When we saw that big dip from Bitcoin all the way down to 21,500. I said, look, this is where V-shaped recoveries come from. And what did we get? We got a V-shaped recovery, didn't we? That's exactly what we got. And these are the sort of setups that we see them from. Big move back down to those areas and up again. So V-shaped recovery took place on Bitcoin. It was a similar kind of setup to the S&P. S&P now above 4,000. Are we going to see a V-shaped recovery like what we'd expect to see on that 4 hourly with a golden cross retest? Again, yeah, it's there's more to it than just the S&P. It's very much a Euro and Forex driven market at the moment. And there's a lot of people talking, isn't there? There's a lot of meetings and there's a lot of pressure, geopolitical pressure. So there's a lot of other things going on behind the charts. So it just makes today a little bit more of a, probably a painful day to try and trade. You know, it'll be like trying to force a trade. Do you know what I mean? I don't really see the point in trying to force a trade. You look for areas to trade and look for setups to trade. But I have to say, altcoins potentially could be the next major state of play, regardless of Bitcoin's price. They could be. When we focus on Ethereum and the Bitcoin dominance chart, maybe we'll get an alt season that lasts a few days to a few weeks, like what we highlighted at some point down the line last week. But this could be coming from a lower level, which means less of a I suppose the time frame when it comes to this alt season. It's not so much the gains. I'm sure some things, if it were to happen, we'll see some things gain 100 to 300%. But for the most part, we think about it in terms of time. How long is it going to take for the Bitcoin dominance to reach an area on the chart where we would consider it to be worth getting back into a Bitcoin position, whether it's from a risk perspective or maybe looking for a rotation of gains back into Bitcoin. I don't know. Very much a 50-50 kind of vibe at the moment. So again, watch, wait for signals to complete, see what the euro wants to do, and see if any kind of central bank farts in the wrong direction and causes continuation up or down. I still feel as though the euro is the main thing. The euro to dollar is the main thing to look at to gauge whether we bounce or continue in this direction. And we've been saying this on the way up. We've been saying it on the way down. And so there's no reason to not focus on this chart and think about it as the main focus, to be honest with you, which is such a ball ache because we don't want to trade this chart, but we do have to take it seriously. And it's not that the euro really impacts anything. It's just a decent barometer of dollar strength and weakness, which corresponds to Dixie, which then obviously corresponds to indices and stocks and commodities and crypto and blah, 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 and the whole world, basically. So it's not that I'm a big fan of this chart or anything like that, but we have to understand and respect that. Actually, you know, when it comes to general health in the market, this is the way, it's undeniable, isn't it? It's undeniable, the reaction that this has had on across all markets. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. As far as today's algorithm pump session, I would like to know what is the best album you've ever heard. And that's an album, I suppose, that goes on indefinitely from the beginning to the end, which is good. I can name a handful. I've got OK Computer. I got System of a Down's Toxicity. The first Streets album. Not that anyone out of the UK will probably know what I'm talking about there. They're perfect albums as far as I'm concerned. What's yours? Anyway, let the algorithm know. And like and subscribe if you're not already. Other than that, hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.